Hello Year 11s, here is a practice syntax chart for you which I've taken from chapter 46. As you are going to be doing your exam on the original stories, it allows me to look at any of the syntax charts in the comprehension passages, because obviously the syntax charts will come from the first stories in the passages, in the chapters that we look at. So I wanted to look at the Fons Bandusiae, which is the comprehension passage, the poetry passage actually, involving Horace's poetry of chapter 46. So take a look at that. It's on page 79 of your blue books, and then pause this next page and we can look through the words together. You'll remember that now, unlike in previous years where you've actually had the chart itself, you're just given the words and you have to choose what you are going to say about the various different words. So I thought that I might be able to help you out a little bit with it. So pause this for a second, look through them, find them in the passage itself, and then we'll go through it. Okay, first word, specta vicent. We'll look at this specta vicent found on the third line of page 79 at the bottom. Finally, cum aliquandio servos, servos aliquandio specta vicent segetes metentes. Finally, when he for a long time had looked at the slaves reaping the corn. So, first of all, specta vicent. I look at that and I see the specta vicent. Well, the vicent ending, specta vice, would be a perfect active infinitive. So then we have the MST, mustis and unt at the end of it, turns it into a pluperfect subjunctive. So specta vicent is third person, because it's they when they had looked at the, when they had looked at the slaves for a long time. So it's third person, plural, subjunctive, active. And the reason for this is that it is a temporal clause. Sometimes your teacher might well call it a cum clause. I call it a temporal clause because it's to do with tempus, it's to do with time. So, third person, plural, pluperfect, subjunctive, active, temporal clause. You'll remember that we said there, when they had looked at the slaves for a while, reaping the corn, reaping the crops. Metentes there. I see that entes ending, and that is going to be a present participle, and it is going to be accusative plural. Remember, the accusative and the nominative plural are going to be the same because they have a third declension adjective ending. So we need to decide, well, they are the object of the sentence here because it's describing, metentes is describing the servos. That os ending means it's accusative plural, so it is going to be accusative plural present participle. The next line, we have they climbed the hill towards the fountain, for the fountain. Cold water, splendidior vitro, more splendid than glass. Splendidior there is a nominative, singular, comparative, adjective ending. More splendid than glass. The vitro there, just to remind you, that's not one of our words that I've chosen, but the vitro is ablative, singular, and we call that the ablative of comparison. Then we have versus, go down to line 8. So, having turned over to the farm manager, he said, how pleasant this place is. Versus, having turned. Versus, nominative, singular, perfect, active, participle. Then line 12 we move down to, and we have desilientem. Quintus was sitting on the riverbank. He looks at the water, lapping into the lacunam, lapping into the pond, or the pool, that we would probably say there. Desilientem there is accusative, singular, present participle. The entem, the em ending, tells me that it's accusative. It's describing, obviously here, the water lapping into the pool. Finally, excitatus, line 14. Having been stirred by the beauty of the place. Excitatus, we have there a nominative, singular, perfect, passive participle. And those answers are all to be here on the next page. Okay, thank you.